You can see the battery on the combine went down. It's been about 5 days since I cranked it. I came over here and tried to crank it and it didn't go. So got the F-150, put the jumper cables on it. Right now the amp meter inside of the truck says I'm throwing about 15 amps. So I'm gonna let it run a little bit longer here. And I did try to crank it with it junk like this, and that cold diesel motor, it was down to about 30 degrees this morning. Right now it's about 40, and that diesel just don't want to fire. So I'm gonna get my batteries back up with the alternator off of this, and then I'm going to do what I don't want to do, but I'm going to have to do, and I'm going to spray starting fluid in the air intake. Hate the way that makes a diesel jump when you do it, but got no choice. All right, let's see what happens this time. That's a right good running motor right there. Little 302 cubic inch V8. Modern language would be 5.0 liter. But since it's in a 82 Ford F-150, we're going to call it a 302 cubic inch V8. All right, let's try it. Yeah, this stuff, I sure don't like using it. I'll tell you something about jump starting stuff. The motor that you're jumping from, turn it off, because if the voltage regulators get into competition with one another, like the voltage regulator on this combine and the voltage regulator on that Ford truck, one of them's going to win, the other one's going to get burned up, and you're going to have to replace it, and that'll cost you. Open door. This gets a little bit tricky now. I've got to go out here to spray it and then reach back in here to try to crank it. And actually I'm going to have to climb back in there real quick because I need to get my foot on the clutch over there to take all that load off of it so the motor will spin a little bit better. So there's that. Race back in here to get in here before that evaporates. Foot on clutch. You will crank this time. And the light went out, so she's charging. Well, I guess what I did was a cold start for y'all. That's what it takes to crank an old 1976 John Deere diesel with no glow plugs that had a cool night of 30 degrees and current temperature of about 40 degrees. I do not like putting ether on my motors, but no choice. Let's go get some jumper cables down. That's a pair of homemade jumper cables. My daddy was an electrician and he had a roll of this wire. So I made me a pair long enough to where I can get where I want to get. There. Well, sometimes it ain't important how you do it. I guess it's just more important that you get it done. Now we'll put this truck up and come back up here and do what we wanted to do. Yeah, if I wanted to crank that little blue tractor right there, that little Ford today, it would definitely take ether to crank it. And I'll bet you $100 that John Deere sitting right over there, 1972, I can go over there and turn the key on, reach up there and grab the steering wheel and yank it back and forth 3 or 4 times and turn the key and it'd fire right up. In fact, I think I'll go over there and do it, just to make a point. It's like this Ford truck I'm in right now. It's got a carburetor on it with a mechanical choke linkage. And if you forget to get in this truck and mash the gas pedal to the floor to set the choke linkage, you ain't cranking this truck. Kind of like a anti-theft device. Let's see. Yeah, let's walk over there and crank that tractor. Might as well let it charge its battery some, since it had a last 2 nights have been really cold. All right, $100 bet. Walking straight over here to that tractor with a John Deere key in my hand. I don't plan on running it, but I will let it sit out here and run for 10 or 15 minutes. Oh. All right. On. Yank the steering wheel. Don't know why that works, but it works. And turn the key. Good tractor, good tractor. I really, really like this tractor. Crank right up. Why don't you go up there and teach that combine how to do that? Yeah, I know that hurt your feelings, but I still like you. Well, if I can figure out where I set my cup of coffee down at, might be up there. Go look. I sure enjoyed the ride in, I call it Big Bubba truck. That's what I kind of nicknamed this truck I'm looking at right now. And yes, God is my pilot. He ain't the co-pilot, he's the pilot. Thank you, Lord. Thank you. I think I left the coffee in the truck. I sure did. Right here in the really cool coffee cup holder. That's good. Well, I want to show y'all something pretty neat about this old antique combine. I'll be right back.